America loves a good bootstrap story. We're told anyone can make it here with hard work and determination. But lately, those bootstraps feel more like concrete boots. The gap between the rich and the rest of us is a chasm, and it's widening every day. This isn't just about money, it's about fairness, opportunity, and the very soul of our democracy. America was founded on principles of equality and justice for all. But somewhere along the way, we took a detour. We traded Main Street for Wall Street, and now, a tiny fraction of Americans controls a disproportionate amount of the wealth and power. This isn't just unfair, it's a threat to our democracy itself. When the ultra-wealthy can rig the system in their favor, we all lose. We need to ask ourselves some hard questions. Is this the America we want? A country where the color of your skin, the zip code you were born in, or the size of your parents' bank account determines your shot at success? Or do we want an America where everyone, regardless of their background, has a fair chance to thrive? Remember truthiness? That's Stephen Colbert's word for truth that feels right, even if it's not. And let's be honest, our current media landscape is drowning in it. Misinformation spreads faster than a wildfire in a windstorm, fueled by social media algorithms and partisan news outlets. This constant barrage of half-truths, distortions, and outright lies has real-world consequences. It erodes trust in institutions, fuels political polarization, and makes it incredibly difficult to have productive conversations about the issues facing our country. It's like trying to build a house on a foundation of quicksand. We need to be critical thinkers, questioning what we see and hear, especially online. We need to demand better from our news sources and hold them accountable for spreading misinformation. We need to be wary of echo chambers and actively seek out diverse perspectives. In short, we need to reclaim the truth. Remember all those promises to drain the swamp? Turns out the swamp had other plans. It threw a lavish buffet, and guess who got invited? Lobbyists with deep pockets and corporations looking for tax breaks. Meanwhile, the average American is stuck with the bill. Corruption, in its many forms, is a cancer on our democracy. From legalized bribery in the form of campaign finance, to politicians prioritizing donors over constituents, it's clear that the system is rigged in favor of the wealthy and powerful. This corruption directly contributes to income inequality. When policies are crafted to benefit the few at the expense of the many, the gap between the rich and the poor widens. We need to demand campaign finance reform, stricter ethics rules for elected officials, and an end to the revolving door between government and corporate lobbying. It's time to clean up the swamp, one slimy creature at a time. Remember when corporations were supposed to be good corporate citizens? Yeah, us neither. These days it feels like many companies are laser-focused on one thing: maximizing profits, even if it means exploiting workers, polluting the environment, or dodging taxes. From mega corporations paying their workers poverty wages while CEOs rake in millions, to pharmaceutical companies jacking up the prices of life-saving drugs, the examples of corporate greed are sadly abundant. This relentless pursuit of profit over people has devastating consequences. We need to hold corporations accountable for their actions. We need stronger regulations to protect workers, consumers, and the environment. We need to close tax loopholes that allow corporations to avoid paying their fair share. And we need to support businesses that prioritize ethical practices and the well-being of their employees and communities. Section 5. Religious right, morality or manipulation. The separation of church and state is a cornerstone of American democracy, but lately, it feels like that wall is crumbling faster than a communion wafer at a picnic. The religious right, once a fringe group, has become a powerful force in American politics, pushing an agenda that often seems at odds with the values of equality and justice for all. From opposing LGBTQ+ rights to restricting access to reproductive health care, the religious right's influence on policy has had a disproportionately negative impact on marginalized communities. While they claim to be motivated by morality, their actions often reek of hypocrisy and a desire to maintain power and privilege for a select few. We need to be wary of any group, religious or not, that seeks to impose its beliefs on others through government policy. We need to defend the separation of church and state and ensure that everyone, regardless of their religious beliefs or lack thereof, has equal rights and protections under the law. Section 6. The shrinking middle class, a warning sign. Remember the American dream? owning a home, sending your kids to college, retiring comfortably. For a growing number of Americans, that dream is fading faster than a cheap pair of jeans. The middle class, once the backbone of our economy, is shrinking, squeezed from both sides by stagnant wages and rising costs of living. This shrinking middle class is a canary in the coal mine of our economy. It's a sign that the system is rigged against working families who are struggling to keep their heads above water while the wealthy elite are living large on a yacht made of solid gold. We need to invest in policies that support working families like affordable healthcare, quality education, and job training programs. We need to raise the minimum wage to a living wage and strengthen unions to give workers a stronger voice. We need to create an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the very top. Section 7. Poverty amidst plenty. The human cost of inequality. Here's a sobering thought. In the richest country in the world, millions of people struggle to put food on the table, afford health care, or have a safe place to live. Poverty in America is a national disgrace, a stark reminder that our current system is failing too many. We see the human cost of inequality every day, in homeless encampments under highway overpasses, in overcrowded schools, in families forced to choose between paying rent and buying groceries. These aren't just statistics, they're real people, our neighbors, whose lives are made immeasurably harder by a system that prioritizes profit over people. We need to address the root causes of poverty, like lack of access to education, healthcare, and affordable housing. We need to invest in social safety net programs that provide a lifeline to those struggling to make ends meet. And we need to create an economy that works for everyone, not just the wealthy few. Section 8. The erosion of trust, from government to each other. Remember when we could actually agree on things? Yeah, those were the days. Now it feels like our political discourse is fueled by anger, distrust, and a healthy dose of us versus them mentality. This erosion of trust, both in our government and in each other, is incredibly dangerous. When we can't even agree on basic facts, it becomes impossible to have meaningful conversations about the challenges facing our country, let alone find solutions. This distrust is fueled by a number of factors: misinformation, political polarization, and the very real sense that the system is rigged against everyday people. We need to rebuild trust, both in our institutions and in each other. We need to demand transparency and accountability from our elected officials. We need to engage in respectful dialogue with those who hold different views, even if we disagree. And we need to find common ground on issues that affect us all. Section 9, can we fix it? Fighting for a fairer America. So, the big question, can we fix this mess? The answer is a resounding maybe. It won't be easy, it won't be quick, but it is possible if we're willing to fight for it. The first step is acknowledging the problem. We can't solve a problem we refuse to see. We need to talk about income inequality, corruption, and the influence of money in politics. We need to listen to the voices of those most affected by these issues. We need to demand better from our elected officials. We need to hold them accountable for their actions and vote for those who prioritize the needs of everyday people over corporate interests. We need to get involved in our communities, support organizations fighting for social justice, and make our voices heard. Section 10. The power of we the people. Action starts now. Here's the good news. We're not powerless. We, the people, still have a voice. We have the power to demand change, to hold our leaders accountable, and to create a more just and equitable society. This isn't about left versus right, it's about right versus wrong. It's about ensuring that everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed, regardless of their background or circumstances. It's about creating a society where everyone has a chance to live a dignified and fulfilling life. We can make a difference. We can contact our representatives, organize protests, support organizations fighting for social justice, and vote for candidates who share our values. We can educate ourselves and others about the issues and engage in respectful dialogue with those who hold different views. Section 11. A more perfect union, dreams of a just future. Imagine an America where everyone has access to quality education, affordable healthcare, and a living wage. Imagine an America where the color of your skin or the zip code you were born in doesn't determine your life chances. Imagine an America where our leaders prioritize the needs of the people over the greed of corporations and special interests. This is the America we can build together. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. The fight for a more just and equitable society is a marathon, not a sprint. But with every step we take, With every voice we raise, we move closer to that more perfect union. It's time to reclaim the American dream, not just for the wealthy few, but for everyone. It's time to build an America where everyone has a chance to thrive, not just survive. It's time to create a future worthy of our children and grandchildren. The time for action is now.